Chapter 15. Waves traveling through the Trinity. A wave is a change that propagates through space and time, with a transference of energy from the source. There are three principal forms of waves. Waves that are produced by water in the ocean, waves that are produced by the air known as sound, and waves that are produced electromagnetically, which is light. And in the beginning God was water, and spirit, and light. In the beginning God created the heavens and the earth. The earth was formless and void, and darkness was over the surface of the deep. And the Spirit of God was moving over the surface of the waters. And God said, "Let there be light," and there was light. Genesis 1:1. These three waves inherently share several physical properties. Waves are characterized by crests and by troughs, and a wave is measured by its amplitude, which is the maximum displacement through a cycle, and is measured by its wavelength, which is equivalent to the length of its cycle. And the elect of this temple share the same physical properties. For the Levites were chosen as a wave offering. You shall cleanse them and present them as a wave offering, for they are wholly given to me from among the sons of Israel. I have taken them for myself instead of every first issue of the womb, the firstborn of all sons of Israel. Numbers 8:14. And they all have been brought low, that the Lord may restore their fortunes. But I will leave among you a humble and lowly people, and they will take refuge in the name of the Lord. At that time I will bring you in, even at the time when I gather you together. Indeed, I will give you renown and praise among all the peoples of the earth, when I restore your fortune before your eyes, says the Lord. Zephaniah 3:12. And now they shall be used as a standard to measure his justice. Lift up a standard on the bare hill, raise your voice to them. Wave the hand that they may enter the doors of the nobles. I have commanded my consecrated ones. I have even called my mighty warriors, my proudly exalted ones, to execute my anger. Isaiah 13:2. And the power of the wave is seen in water, for it was by the power of the Father that mankind was first destroyed. Behold, even I am bringing the flood of water upon the earth to destroy all flesh, in which is the breath of life. From under heaven everything that is on the earth shall perish. Genesis 6:17. For a wave of water has the ability to transmit its power transversely. In other words, it transmits power at that moment in time. And the Father has the power to bring the waves high and to calm the waves low. He spoke and raised up a stormy wind which lifted up the waves of the sea. Psalms 107:25. And he caused the storm to be still, so that the waves of the sea were hushed. Psalms 107:21. And water has the ability to transmit itself longitudinally. In other words, it transmits its power over time. And the Father will show his great power in these times. For there will be signs in the sun and moon and stars, and on the earth dismay among nations, and perplexity at the roaring of the sea and the waves. Luke 21:25. And the power of the wave can be seen through light, for it was by the power of the light that his people were saved. For the sun is the light that gives life to his children. There was the true light, which coming into the world enlightens every man. John 1:9. For light has the power to transmit power transversely. In other words, light transmits its power at a moment in time. For the light came to earth at a moment in time, as he said before his death on the cross, "For a little while longer the light is among you. Walk while you have the light, so that darkness will not overtake you. He who walks in the darkness does not where he goes. While you have the light, believe in the light, so that you may become sons of light." John 12:35. And now his followers are children of the light. Now you are light in the Lord. Walk as children of light, trying to learn what is pleasing to the Lord. Ephesians 5:8. And now the Father qualifies us to share the inheritance in the light. For the Father has qualified us to share in the inheritance of the saints in light. Colossians 1:12. For as light transfers its energy through time, his children have been transferred to this moment in time. For you, brethren, are not in darkness, that the day would overtake you like a thief. For you are all sons of light and sons of day. We are not of night nor of darkness. So then let us not sleep as others do, but let us be alert and sober. 1 Thessalonians 5:2. But for those who have failed to recognize the light, this is the judgment, that the light has come into this world, and men love the darkness rather than the light, for their deeds were evil. For everyone who does evil hates the light, and does not come to the light, for fear that his deeds will be exposed. But he who practices the truth comes to the light, so that his deeds may be manifested as having been wrought in God. John 3:19. And sound is the manifestation of waves through the air, and it is through the breath of the Spirit that men are reborn. The wind blows where it wishes, and you hear the sound of it, but do not know where it comes from and where it is going. So is everyone who is born of the Spirit. John 3:5. And it was by sound that Spirit was made manifest. When the day of Pentecost had come, they were together in one place, and suddenly there came from heaven a noise like a violent rushing wind, and it filled the whole house where they were sitting. There appeared to them tongues as of fire distributing themselves, and they rested on each one of them. They were filled with the Holy Spirit, and began to speak with other tongues as the Spirit was giving them utterance. Acts 2:1. And it was through the Spirit that the good news has spread. Isaiah 61:1. But man has not followed sound doctrine, but has turned to his own evil desires. 2 Timothy 4:3. For sound waves are transmitted longitudinally through distance and time, and his servants have walked for a long distance in time. But now there is a sound of fugitives and refugees from the land of Babylon, to declare in Zion the vengeance of the Lord our God, vengeance for his temple. Jeremiah 50:27. Now woe to those who have not heeded to the Spirit. I will silence the sound of your songs, and the sound of your harps will be heard no more. Ezekiel 26:13. For the warning sound of the trumpet shall be heard. Blow a trumpet in Zion, and sound an alarm on my holy mountain. Let all the inhabitants of the land tremble. For the day of the Lord is coming, surely it is near. A day of darkness and gloom, a day of clouds and thick darkness. Joel 2:1. And the 7 angels who had the 7 trumpets prepared themselves to sound them. Revelation 8:6. And when the last trumpet sounds, the mysteries of God shall be complete. For in the days of the voice of the 7th angel, when he is about to sound, then the mystery of God is finished, as he preached to his servants the prophets. Revelation 10:7.